That's right. We are live. Welcome to Matrix University. I want to welcome everybody who's already in the room. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all of you, each and every one of you. Vesuvius, our resident Matrix Online advisor, is here. We're going to talk a little Matrix Resurrection news. Let me go ahead and tweet out that we are all in here in the lecture hall, getting ready to get started. V, how you been doing these last couple weeks here?
Doing great. Waiting for some news. We finally got some breaking news tonight.
Yeah, man. I mean, good job on the CinemaCon Intel. Shout out to Legacy Zero for sharing that with us. It was very accurate because a couple days later, a trailer was shown there, not to the public, but we'll get into that. So I see some of the regulars here in the chat room. Shout out to David. Hello all. Shout out to Miss Beverly. I see you. Cody Norton in the building. So yeah, like I said, that was a couple weeks ago that the CinemaCon thing went down in Vegas there. Um, so yeah, it was cool that we talked about it, and then a couple days later that part happened. But the uncool part is that it has not yet leaked. I just kind of naturally assumed that either Warner was going to share it publicly, or that by now it would have been sent out to the internet to be shared without permission, but neither has happened yet. So I guess they tightened the screws after the Spider-Man leak. But yeah, what are your thoughts on us still sitting here with nothing to watch publicly?
Hold on, I'm having a technical. Yeah, so I'm very surprised that we haven't gotten a leak yet. They must have certainly tightened it down. Spider-Man actually leaked, I think, the day before they were going to show it at CinemaCon. That might have been like August 22nd. And then they showed it on the 23rd. And I believe they showed the Matrix trailer on the 24th. And then some posters started circulating around the 25th. So, I mean, we've had some action, but I'm really surprised we haven't gotten a leak of the trailer. And I really thought that they were just going to release it that weekend. If not the next day, I thought that following weekend.
Yeah, I was kind of with you with that. I really thought it was going to be one or the other. That kind of 1-2 punch. Okay, CinemaCon, a week of hype, and then to the public, and that's just not how it played out there. But yeah, there have been some reviews, or rather sharing of what was shown to. Do you know who specifically was invited? It was because they were like basically all like Hollywood blogs, right?
Yeah, I don't know exactly who, but it's people in the business. I know
Right.
some bloggers and some YouTubers. I think some studio, I don't know, execs maybe, some studio people.
Right. So, they've got some summaries, but my thing was, I read some of the comments, and, it seemed like people were kind of just felt like clickbaited and kind of burned. So, I didn't hear or read anything that was debunking things we heard in terms of like the test screening leaks in the streams that we had earlier. So I was just kind of hoping that we'd get something to review and be able to break down frame by frame ourselves. Um, but yeah, no, here we are. We're still here. So, what date did I see? I saw something about a September 22nd date, but I'm not sure what's the the reasoning behind that one.
Well, that would be exactly 3 months before. It's either a release
Right.
date for *Malignant* or maybe *Dune*. I don't know. I'm kind of gauging those in the back of my mind, but I'm not keeping a close eye on those two movies yet.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. The 3 month thing, and I don't know, somewhere along the line of the last year or so, I think I did the math on the 3 month thing. So yeah, that's a definite possibility. I don't know if it'll be necessarily 3 months to the day, But I'll put it this way: I have a lot more faith in the date holding up if we get a trailer with, for that 3-month mark.
Yeah, there's still talk about delays. I think with Shang-Chi, the word is that it's doing well. So I believe not Spider-Man, Venom 2 got moved up to like October 1st or something like that. So I think the movies maybe are trying to get the movies in before another big pandemic and lockdown comes in, or they, I mean, it's like Russian roulette right now. But maybe they're going to push them back. It's like I don't know. Like I don't no idea what these people are thinking, but they get a lot of money invested in these films. So I mean, hopefully it works out.
Okay, so I just got the notification, so it is working. At least my phone, it's sending out the notification when we go actual live. So hopefully other people are getting the notification. But speaking of, please make sure you like the stream on the way in, guys, because Vesuvius and I were talking about that in, like, the pre. I don't want to call it a show, but like when we're just in the studio, the broadcast studio before we go live. Yeah, YouTube can be real funny with notifications. Like even if you have all the notifications turned on, like sometimes you just don't get notifications. It's even worse with messages and chats. So that's why I tell people, like, follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Don't hesitate to shoot a message. It's much more reliable. But yeah, please do like the stream. So where were we here? Because people are starting to get in here, which is great. I don't want to get into the meat and potatoes quite yet until we get a couple more people in here.
Well, I wanted to say something about the bloggers reviewing the trailer that they saw. So it's my impression that these bloggers did not look into the leaks or hear about the leaks about the movie and the screening, because the way that they were describing the trailer, it's like they had no idea the dots that
Right.
could be connected if those leaks are real.
Right. I definitely got that vibe, and that's what I'm saying. Like for us, or for those of us who've been coming to class regularly, if you participated in the live streams with Viewer Anon and Soups, going through that stuff from the test screenings, then, like you said, I mean, you're connecting dots. Like nothing is really surprising you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it didn't sound like anything was. I was actually a little more surprised that these
That they
people
were
who were
surprised.
covering this, yeah, that they were surprised. They're like, oh, it's like, oh, we have no idea what's going on here. It's like, oh,
Okay,
we don't know who this could be or that could be, and it's like,
if you
if you guys not follow what's going on?
exactly, they don't, and even if they did, that's what I was gonna say. I got to go down that cynical rabbit hole because that's what I do. But yeah, man, I kind of just got this vibe, like like they're on the inside. You feel me? Like when you're invited to something like that, you better have a positive spin or positive review. You know what I'm saying? Like, I, it just seemed to me like it was part of, like, I don't want to say marketing, but just part of that promotional vibe. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're all Hollywood. Like this is big Hollywood deal. Let's go. I mean, obviously the hype is real. I'm not saying that they're faking their hype. People are generally excited about the Matrix. I think that's real. You know what I mean? People who are even Hollywood insiders or bloggers or, people who work in the industry. I mean, even people who do, like, graphics for Hollywood are excited that there's another Matrix movie coming out. So I'm not trying to sell short their enthusiasm or anything by that, or anything like that. I don't want to feel like, or dictate that these people were just paid to say something positive. It's not what I'm saying specifically, but what I am saying is that there is a, I guess, unspoken kind of rules in situations like that. I imagine, since I'm not a Hollywood insider, I'm just going off of the energy as you're describing it. That was kind of like my, like I said, more cynical take on what we were seeing. But I definitely am agreeing on whatever you were picking up on. there was something there that just kind of seemed a little off to me. And again, I get it. We're hardcore. We're following everything. They probably are not. They're probably following, 20 other movies, productions. But yeah, I got this vibe that like, okay, it's good that they're excited. I mean, I don't want to hear a bunch of people saying, hey, we saw this trailer and it was trash. What's happening? That would be bad. So, okay, we didn't get that. But I'm also like not at all shocked with the positive reviews of the trailers that we did get. And I feel like that was, probably the reason why they came at Geekdom the way they did. Because A, was leaked, and B, I don't feel like, you know what I mean? Like I felt like there were parts of the review that weren't specifically positive. So it's like, all right, well, then we'll just shut the whole thing down. Now, obviously, he's since posted the audio. I saw him on Twitter talking about it. So there's a version back up somewhere. But like I said, we've already kind of gone over all that stuff in our live stream. So I don't want to beat a dead horse there. But yeah, all that stuff's out there. Shout out to Jay Scotty saying good night. I guess I missed him. And Astro Ice is in here. I see you too. Oh, right. That was the other thing that I had this message up. Lorenzo Dawkins says we're rocking Neo trench coats for the premiere. Yeah, if we are on schedule for Project Matriculated, December 22nd, as I've been saying, kind of coining the phrase, cosplay is encouraged but not required. So yeah, come dressed as Neo, come dressed as yourself, your own red pill handle, whichever way you want to go. I mean, if it turns into like a Lady in Red Persephone party, I won't be mad about that.
No, I would encourage that as well.
Right. So, have fun with it. It'll be after Halloween, but yeah, I definitely am supporting, and the venue is supporting of that energy, of that cosplay vibe. So leather, pleather, vinyl, all that's welcome. Okay, yeah. So now we're getting to the point where I'm getting lost in the comments here. So right. So what is Project Matriculated? So yeah, there's been so much going on. But Project Matriculated, we do actually have a link for. It should be in the link of like every single video, including this one. But that's the premiere party event that Vesuvius and I are hosting. So the plan is to basically have a Matrix 4 premiere party at a venue in North Jersey that's already been picked out. I haven't gone into the screening details yet because, like I said, with all the kind of fluidity with the dates, there's a lot of moving parts with that side of the conversation. However, if you sign up to the pre-registration, the VIP registration, all that news, any of those updates, you're going to get first. You're going to get first crack at the tickets and all that. So yeah, I would definitely sign up for that if you're interested. Like I said, the venue is in North Jersey. It's like no traffic, 30 minutes outside of the city, outside of New York, 35 minutes outside of New York City. Like I said, no traffic. But yeah, it's that area. So, again, people are invited to make plans and come from all over the world. If that's going to happen, that'd be awesome. If you just want to road trip it in the States, that's cool too. But yeah, that's the thing we're doing. And actually, I'm glad you asked what it is too, because I haven't talked about this in a while. And as Vesuvius mentioned, there's a lot of new people here. See, I always talk and just, it's like in my mind, even like new subscribers have been here since my first video. This is like, it's hard to like keep constantly reminding myself that there's new people here that don't know anything that we're talking about with this old stuff, because that's the thing. The backstory behind this is actually on Twitter, right around when I started my channel at first summer. So like I started my channel, and then a couple months later they announced the Matrix 4, and somewhere in there, someone on Twitter, actually the brainchild of this idea, the person who came up with this idea initially on Twitter, actually ended up doing the artwork for the thumbnail for the Wi-Fi Jesus video, which actually uses the same music, which is kind of interesting. That came up coincidentally, because I'm not supposed to be playing this music right now, but that's a whole nother story. So yeah, so that person on Twitter who contributed to the thumbnail for the Wi-Fi Jesus video, was like, "Oh, it'd be cool if we could all get together and watch The Matrix 4 together when it comes out." And I was like, "Well, okay, let's just do it." Because that's the kind of energy and the kind of magic sauce that I wanted this channel and this experience to, manifest in the universe. Is like, okay, if we put our minds to something, especially with events like that we could actually do it, we could pull it off. So here we are. The date is around the corner, so now it's just going to be about, like I said, just finalizing the date. And well, the venue I have for the 22nd. So that's why, like I've been saying in these live streams, while I believe, or I think it's very possible that the release date for the Matrix Resurrections could get pushed back for the sake of this event that we're talking about, for the premiere party event, because the venue's already booked for December 22nd. It's a lot easier for it to just stay on that date. So that's why I've just been kind of like patient, hoping that, because like I was saying in the, I hate calling it a pre-show, but whatever, when me and Vesuvius were talking before this live stream, I was talking about how I really hope that we get to get this trailer soon, because if we get the trailer, within the next few weeks, I'll feel more confident about the Matrix Resurrections December 22nd date holding up. It's Warner though. I get it. Like, they have no problem changing the date to a release. It could be November and like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to wait. So, yeah, those are all factors. Like I said, if you want to keep up to date on that news, Vesuvius set up a pre-registration, the VIP list registration. So there's links to that in like every single video. So definitely check that out. And yeah, like I'm looking forward to that event. It's definitely going to be a good time. It's definitely going to be, a lot of hardcore Matrix fandom energy. The venue is really nice. Like it's one of my favorite places to be. And there's like, you can see in some of the videos, and on Twitter, like and even on Instagram, yeah, there's like a clip you can actually see like the Matrix code rain on the video walls there. And actually, yeah, I was talking to the guy. They got new projectors there, so now it looks even like the Matrix raining code looks even cleaner on the wall. It's crazy looking. But yeah, that's just one of the many bells and whistles and pretty colors that place has to offer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to a lot of Matrix related things coming in the next few months. But I feel like I'm going on and getting behind in the comments here. So what is our next topic here, Vesuvius, in tonight's session?
I think the breaking news.
I think are we ready for that?
I think we're ready.
Oh, I see you post. I'm gonna put this on the screen. That's the site. So that's the VIP free project matriculated registration link. So make sure you sign up to that. Right, because that's gonna be like, the meet and greet and the Professor Lazarus reveal. I mean, if you're like curious, that's where you can meet me face to face. Okay, right. Yeah, he's leaking the news in the chat. So let me go ahead and put this up on the screen here, because that did happen. So why don't you, since you brought it to my attention, why don't you go ahead and intro this for us? What did you find today?
Okay, so I'm in my living room, and of course I check my phone, and I have a Twitter alert from someone called the Matrix Resource One, and it says that WHATISTHEMATRIX.com and TheMatrix.com will now redirect to a website that is kind of forming. It's got some Matrix code rain. There's nothing quite interactive on it yet, but it's something. It's like the start of this website, and it's something. It's probably the first official thing publicly from Warner Brothers and the Matrix.
Well, right. I'm gonna share the screen here in a moment, but since you brought that up, I'll go to that first, because you mentioned, I noticed you specifically used the word official. So if you can see the screen there, this was the poster you brought to my attention that was posted to the imdb.com website under the Matrix Resurrections information. But upon further detective work and investigation, you found out that this was a fugazi, right? This is a fake or unofficial, I should say, not a fake, but
well, it's a fan art. Hold on, because I'm behind. I'm lagging a little bit as I play the music. As I play the video. Let's see if I can. Is it the dark one?
I got the dark one up, but if I hit the arrow, I can show this is the one that has the 1222 at the bottom. I'm on the next one.
So I mean, I basically saw this image and I was like, okay, this one looks official to me. And if it's the dark one, then
back to the dark one. Right, this is the dark one.
Okay. So the dark one, I wound up finding somebody on Instagram who posted it, and they said that it was official, and they said that they worked on the film as like a set designer, but somebody else made the poster. But they insisted in a couple of different places in the comment section that it was the official poster. I got to take a look at that one. It's still not up on my screen. I'm just going to pull it up on my phone. That way I can pick out the details that were pointed out to me.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to put the whatisthematrix.com site up there. So this is what you see when you pull up whatisthematrix.com now, which was not there yesterday as far as I know.
No, I think it turned over today.
And I noticed, did you notice like the code is definitely cleaner? Like I highly doubt that it's sushi recipes right now.
It might be, but it's a 15-second loop and it will loop seamlessly. So if you choose to download that, you can loop it seamlessly, which is nice.
Yeah, man. I mean, my Japanese is real rusty, but I'm telling you, they tightened up the code. I'm telling you, man, it's definitely got something going on here that it didn't have before. Now, where did you see the download option?
You just got to right click on it.
Oh, save video. Got it. I want it. Boom. Downloaded. So yeah, so I'll keep investigating the nature of the code to see if it's sushi recipes this time. But yeah, Astro also noticed that it looks sharper. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, it's way cleaner. Yeah, I'm noticing like a smoother mixture of numbers and Japanese characters. And as Vesuvius mentioned, it is also a seamless loop, which is pretty cool. Right. So, because yeah, last time I looked at whatisthematrix.com, didn't it like route you to buying the 4K, like the original Matrix in 4K?
Yes, it had for years, since I think like 2007 or 2008. It redirected you to something not thematrix.com.
Right. Now, what's also interesting is, you know what? Let me take this off the screen. I didn't think to look at this before, but remember, right, because that was part of like all the rage a couple weeks ago, right? When the CinemaCon thing happened, was like all these blog sites were reporting, oh, it's officially titled The Matrix Resurrections.
Yeah, breaking news. Didn't you hear?
Right. Yeah, I heard it a year ago. That's why I was
January.
like, come on, guys. Well, January was when we saw the jacket, right?
Yeah, that was like the first like confirmation.
That was the
the thank you card.
confirmation. But my first video about that was a year ago.
Was it?
Yeah, man. Because that's what I'm saying. Remember, I found that. What was it? The like that URL of the website.
Yes.
That's what brings this home. So they changed the whatisthematrix.com website, but that's what I'm saying. Did I take it off share screen? I want to go see if that has changed. Now, what I don't remember if was it Matrix Resurrections or the Matrix Resurrections.
Yeah, so I'm stuck between these like 4 websites: The Matrix Resurrections, plural; Matrix Resurrections, plural; and then the singular form. So The Matrix Resurrection, and Matrix Resurrection. So like I gotta check all 4 of those spellings like every time.
Yeah, it's Matrix Resurrection, no plural, no S on the end, and that reroutes you to a Warner Brothers landing page. And that site still says this website is currently not available. In fact, I can pull that up on the screen here. So that's matrixresurrection.com, but that's what brought me to the conclusion that the title would be Matrix Resurrection or Resurrections, but I was unclear as to whether or not it'd be plural or not. Of course, now we know it is. But what's also interesting here is that this site seems to be under the same status that it was when I looked a year ago. So I wonder how this came about. Was it a typo? Was it supposed to be matrixresurrections.com and then somebody messed up, so they just made it what is the matrix.com again? I don't know. It's very interesting.
Somebody's probably got the plural version of that.
Yeah, I wonder who could own that.
I don't know.
They should hit that guy up, see if he's willing to sell it.
If I needed that website, I would buy it.
I would absolutely buy it in a heartbeat. It's a great title. Oh man, so what else we got? I feel like there was something else that happened between this stream and the last stream.
Okay, so the poster. So the dark poster was debunked on Reddit, and they said that they were spelling it.
Wait, right? You're talking about the let me pull that back up. Right, you're talking about the IMDb.com Matrix Resurrection poster, right? This right here.
My stream is still lagging behind. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, keep the audience with the visuals to go with, because we're all over the place tonight. Like this is definitely a freestyle live stream. Like,
okay, I think I got it. So, all right. So there is an image of the code, and it almost looks like it's like a triangle. And if
this
you
is the
look
dark poster
at,
you're talking about,
dark poster.
Okay.
So if you look at the dark poster, you'll see the code in like these triangle shapes, 2 on the top and 3 on the bottom.
Right.
So this is recycled content.
Mm.
Now
if you look, the spacing kind of looks like a W, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like the negative space. So I on what is it, Reddit, they said that there were some spelling errors as well, but I don't see any spelling errors.
Like in the actors' names, like where
I don't see them anywhere. But when I was reading up on it, and they were like, yeah, it's definitely fake. That's when I kind of took a step back. I saw that code in the shape it's in, because I've used that image before. It's nice. It the way that you can frame a picture with that background. And then instantly I saw it and I was like, oh, that's recycled. Okay, well, they're not going to do that. So that one is debunked. Now, I'll tell you the Instagram profile that was claiming that was Cold Design.
Yes, that's what it was. Right there. Yes. Go ahead and get into that.
Yeah, so, let me see if I can pull that up and I'll just read through it a little bit. But Cold Design, 1D, Cold Design.
Can you? Yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
So on the, I believe it's the 25th. Yeah, August 25th. So it's finally out of the bag. Feel very lucky to have worked on this one. Total dream come true. Can't wait to see how it all turns out. Oh, there's 100 comments. I'm not going through all these.
Wait. It's Cold Design. Spell it again.
COLD
Cold.
ES.
Cold Price. Let me see if I can get that on the screen here.
Did you find it?
I think so. Hold on 1 second. It's got to be it because I remember seeing the logo when you sent it to me.
Yeah,
I
it's
just got
like
to pull up like the individual. Boom. Womp womp.
so. It's like really, really curious. Can you share something? Nope. So I asked official poster. Not confident, but the original poster says so. And somebody asks, "Is this real?" And they say, let's see, "No, you've read it wrong. The poster is the official poster. I did not design the poster. I worked on the film, designing stuff for the film." So I
Okay,
say,
so there you go.
thanks for sharing. How did you come to post this picture? Nothing from Warner Brothers to date. They said, same as you, dude. Which, so I don't know, that it doesn't make sense. The conversation doesn't flow well.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see
got
somebody
very lucky
tagged
with
us. I
this
see
one.
somebody tagged us in here, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Just looking through the comments. Um, I'm looking for the comment that you mentioned, but there's a lot, so I probably won't be able to find it. But yeah, he explained that he just worked on the project. He didn't create this poster, so he probably just pulled it off of IMDb.
Joey Ford says, "Is this fan art?" No, it's the official poster. Wow, that's
Yeah, but
amazing.
he didn't make the
Where is he?
official poster, so he might just think it is because he got it off of IMDb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Which it's a pretty good poster. But the one thing that I was skeptical about before I noticed the shape of the code behind him was the detail inside the text. That hasn't been on any of the other movies. The text is actually pretty plain inside. It's there's a blur on the outside, but it's got a nice design. It's pretty clean. Also, with Reloaded and Revolutions, the subtitles were actually a little bit bigger than the title Matrix. So it's very small. Matrix is much bigger, but then Reloaded and Revolutions was bigger than Matrix. So that was another thing that, my ears went up a little bit.
Yeah, no, you've been pretty quick with verifying or debunking if something's the real deal or not when it comes
Well,
to these different images.
I got help with this one. Partly I want to believe that we're getting the official things and they're leaking out, but not so yet.
That's funny. He said it's spelled Neil Patrick Harris.
And on IMDb, it says that Priyanka Chopra's name is going to appear as Priyanka Chopra and not Priyanka Chopra Jonas. This poster has it Priyanka Chopra Jonas.
Okay, there's your typo.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
So there's another.
I'm also curious with the like how Christina Ricci's up there too, because didn't they confirm that she has like a really small part?
Yeah, but she's a big enough name. She'd probably make the poster.
But yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. Where are you going with that?
I was going to say that there is also another poster. I got this one off of IMDb and started sharing it around. It's the same style as the Matrix Reloaded poster with a
Uh,
date on the bottom, and that's
is
the
this
lighter
the
one.
is this the 1222 one?
Yes.
Okay, I just put that up on the screen for everybody.
So this one I put out. I was like, oh, this one also looks like it could be official. The blur matches, like the colors right and everything. Resurrections is slightly bigger than the Matrix, or at least the same size. Now, right now, you have one of my comments up, so it's covering the date. But there are two logos in the. There's one in the bottom left, Village Roadshow, and Warner Brothers on the bottom right. And
Oh
it
yeah,
was
that's
pointed
really
out
tiny though.
they are small. But the Warner Brothers one is the old Warner Brothers Shield logo, and all of their new posters have the new Shield, where it's like solid. It's solid.
Yeah, in fact, that one.
This one's
What's that
got an
logo in the
outline.
middle? What's that logo in the
Where?
middle? Like Village Roadshow's to the left, Warner Brothers to the right. There's one in the middle. Who's that?
Let me see. United Artists, maybe?
I don't think so. It almost looks like who does John Wick?
No, United Artists is something different. Yeah, I know that. I know that logo. I just can't place it. But it's like another movie studio.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out which one it is.
Do you still have the IMDb app?
Right now, the Reloaded remix is up. Were you asking about the mobile app?
No, if you had IMDb, so that we could check which movie studio was involved.
I got you. Well, that's where I was going with it, because if it's Reloaded, you know what I mean? It might be a different set. You know, that might be like a what's his name? A Joe Silver thing. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Because he has
it's
nothing to
not
do
Joel
with Matrix
Silver,
4.
but
Okay, but you get what I'm
some.
saying.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think, where would that be listed here? The different production companies.
It says Silver Productions is on Matrix 4. Village Roadshow Pictures, NPV Entertainment, and Silver Pictures.
That's the thing. I feel like that logo might be the Silver Pictures logo. I'm not sure about that, but I feel like it could be. But that might be, a rights thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just like how Skydance had, like, that actually cracked me up. When you sit down to watch Terminator Dark Fate, it's like, 45 seconds of movie studio logos, because that franchise has been sold to so many different studios. Now, where did you click to see the Silver Productions on this? Was it cast and crew, or where'd you find that?
I actually did a search for,
Okay.
and you know what? I just looked it up, and you're right. It is Silver Pictures.
Okay, so there you go.
Silver Pictures logo, 1991 to 2005.
Right. So there you go, dude. That's definitely Reloaded evidence, because I'm telling you, even though Silver Pictures might be credited because of a rights thing, that their logo probably isn't going to be on the poster. In the opening credits, sure. The poster, doubtful. Very doubtful. Yeah, Austin Williams says it's Silver Pictures in the chat here, so got some confirms.
Yeah, Jaxila says that the 12/22 poster is fake because it doesn't mention the HBO Max release plan. But they can always add things like that. You know, you take away my fun when you shoot down my speculation so quickly. You
Well,
gotta let me
the flip
run
side of
with
that
it for like
argument
5 minutes.
well, the flip side of that argument to me is that, if they delay it, it's not going to be on HBO Max, man. At least not until after the 45 days of pure theatrical release or whatever it is.
Yep. Yeah, because those pirators, they're getting the HD version. They're sharing it immediately, or at least not buying it. If enough people get it, even if they don't share it, it just means they're not going to go out and buy tickets.
Okay, so since we're, I guess, playing Golden Light theme music, Cody Norton has a theory about the Golden Light here. Let's share this with everybody. So he says, I think the Golden Light could be collective consciousness. I'm thinking the first AI discovered it and was able to interact with it easily because they didn't have the irrational emotions of humans. Interesting. I think, like I mentioned in the Wi-Fi Jesus video, I think that's one of those things where there's so much room in the Matrix universe. I wouldn't say that there was anything to debunk the ideas that you shared here. It could definitely fit. It could definitely work. It's funny because you're talking about AI and the fan fiction that I've been working on. There's like an AI element. I don't want to go into any spoilers. But yeah, that's something that I've been working on pretty intensely these last couple. And it's been exciting. I've been trying to not give away too much just yet. I was thinking if we get like, I don't know, what do you think's a good number? 30 V?
30 for what?
30 likes or something. I'm just trying to think of because you've already seen it. But I'm trying to think of some type of way to make it fun to leak the opening title sequence, right?
Yeah, we could, and then we'll do it on a live stream after we get the likes, or maybe when we get to 4,000 subscribers. When I say
Ooh,
we, I
that's a
mean
good
you,
one. That's
sir,
a good one. I like that one.
because that's right around the corner.
Right. So okay, that's fair. I think if we can signal boost the channel up as a unit, hit that 4K subs marker, then that will be worthy of leaking the live stream opening for the fan fiction. Yeah, I like that. 4K. So if we hit 4K, we'll drop that little meta leak there. Hey, and if we hit 4K in the next couple of days, you might even get that before the Matrix 4 trailer.
We might get a lot of things before the Matrix 4 trailer.
But yeah, actually, I wanted to wait. What were you gonna say? Go ahead, V.
There's a hashtag for Warner Brothers, and it is hashtag release the Matrix trailer. I think we ought to do our part to get that out.
Okay, so do you know anything about this? Who we just got a movement going here. Released the Matrix 4 trailer. That's the hashtag.
Yeah, it generated over on Reddit, and we were originally going to like plan something and do like a weekday and a certain time for everyone to like spam that hashtag, but it has turned into just start hitting that hashtag on every tweet. So every time Warner Brothers releases anything, they do a Twitter or an Instagram. I just reply hashtag release the Matrix trailer.
Well, wait, you got released the Matrix trailer or released the Matrix 4 trailer? Because I have Matrix 4 trailer up on the screen right now.
Where is it? Where'd you get it?
No, I just put that hashtag on the screen for people to see it.
The one that we are, I think the Reddit title is release the Matrix trailer.
Right, no 4. It fixed. All right,
And
so
I've been using that on the Twitter and on Instagram.
Yeah, so just guys, let's see if we can get some movement from the Warner side here. If enough of us tweet it, they might maybe release the hostage known as the Matrix 4 trailer. But yeah, no, I just wanted to say real quick, thank everybody for jumping in on the live stream and supporting the channel in general. When we were down there shooting, I got a really cool message from someone on Instagram. Just saying, keep up the good work, guys, and really support what you're doing. How much they love the Matrix and everything. So it was just for something like that to come in while working on a project like that was cool timing. It was definitely appreciated. So if you're listening, if you're watching, thank you for those kind words. And again, I appreciate everybody who's here supporting the channel and participating in this experiment known as Matrix University. Oh, Kavion Davis asked, did I watch the King Vader Matrix Reborn on YouTube? I did. In fact, right after that live stream, whichever live stream, I think it was one of the screen test leaks, right? It might have been even the first one where that came up.
Sounds about right.
And you recommended it. And I said I would watch it, and I did. I actually did. Yeah, there was definitely things I liked about it. There was a point, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. There was a point, I should definitely add it to that playlist of fan fiction, though. I don't know that I did. I think I did, but if I didn't, I will after this. Yeah, so like I said, what kind of scared me initially was like, because it's like, I think like 50 minutes, 55 minutes, something like that. So it was like, making an excuse to make time and just forgetting to make time to sit and watch it. But like I said, after the live stream, I watched it. And yeah, it's definitely like there was definitely a budget, which was, I thought, kind of cool. Like I think the strength of it was the visual effects, because I understand that it's not a large Hollywood film. So, for an independent film, I thought the visual effects were pretty impressive at some points. Just some of the things they were doing to give it that Matrix look, I thought was pretty cool. There was one point creatively you mentioned. I think you even warned me before I watched it, but you didn't want to spoil it. So, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Yeah, there's one point towards the end creatively where it took a turn that I wasn't quite prepared for. But it didn't ruin it for me. It just was an interesting, I guess, creative choice is how you put it, I think, or something like that. What I found, I guess, most entertaining was the fact that it's probably one of the only Matrix fan films that I saw that wasn't a parody but had a story, you know.
Yes.
I mean, I guess I've seen maybe a couple that kind of have like their own, like there's that one that I don't remember. I think it just says like Matrix 4 trailer or something, but it's, you know, the one where the guy's in the apartment and he like kind of like recreates Neo's scene with the computer kind of thing. Um but that's what I mean. That was more a recreation of that scene than I think a new story. Um, so that's what's fun about the piece that I'm working on. You know, is very specific to having a story that would actually fit in the Matrix universe, because that's what I don't feel like I've seen yet. Um, so I don't want to go too deep into it. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But yeah, I was glad that I watched it before we shot, because I didn't want to emulate that in any way, but at the same time, it kind of put me in that headspace of fan fiction, because, you know, like I tell people all the time, there's some really good Star Wars fan films out there. Um, but I felt like you know, the Matrix didn't have as many of those type of stories. And I feel like this story is more in that space where it could fit in the overall universe. So um yeah, that's been really fun. I'm really excited to share it. I think you guys are definitely going to appreciate it. Outside of our kind of like, you know, niche, or, you know, niche of the niche or hardcore fan community, I don't know if everybody's going to really get it, which is fine. Um, but yeah, there's nuggets, there's layers, there's all kinds of fun things. It was really fun to work on it. I mean, I'm not done. I'm in post, and there's a lot of work yet to be done. So there's that. But it
So how long did you shoot for?
just a few days. You know, we were going real hard. Um, you know, I saw this guy. He he worked in television. There was an interview, and he was just talking about you know, the different challenges of working in the industry or whatever. And he was talking about how 10 pages a day, like anything more than 10 pages a day in TV, not movies, but anything more than shooting or recording 10 pages of film in a day is like torture. Like, and that's professionally, right? Like, people like know what they're doing. So yeah, I tried to not kill the people that I was working with, especially since nobody was getting paid, right? So we split it up. So there was like I guess a total of 3 days of shooting. It's not that long, so, you know, I felt like it was adequate amount of time for the pages of dialogue that needed to be shot. It's not a crazy amount of dialogue, but there's some back and forth. And yeah, so of course I would have loved to have more time. But again, you know, I mean, this is when you guys see this, you know, I want you to like feel the energy that was put into it, because not only did like the cast and crew have a fun time making it, like, you know, I mean, I made it with Matrix fans, so that was awesome by itself. But just from like, you know, I guess a personal level, like, you know, I was thinking about going like Hawaii, Mexico. You know, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a movie. How about that? So yeah, I think or I hope you guys, you know, appreciate it, because it's got all those different Matrix fans creative input in it. Like, it was a collaborate. That's what I love about film. Film is the ultimate form of artistic collaboration, you know, because it's got all these different elements that people have to come together to do. I mean, you can make it all by yourself, but um I wanted you guys to have something that you could, you know, enjoy. Like I said, something that would fit the universe as if it was official, even though it's not. Um so by having that approach, I knew like there was no way I could just do it by myself. Like, this just wasn't going to happen. And in fact, this particular piece, wasn't even something that I came up with on my own. It was, talking to the actress. We were just gonna try to figure out some of the stuff for some of the promo for Project Matriculated, and then she kind of just threw in the information about oh well, she knows really good cameraman, and all these different things that might could be enough to make a fan film. And I was like, well, why don't we just do it? And so we did it. So yeah, that's been what I've been working on the last couple months. Really, it's funny how the time flies when you're having fun, right? But then that's the other thing too. Like I said, I read in a bunch of different comment sections, specifically when everybody was reviewing or kind of summarizing the CinemaCon trailer. We haven't had a whole lot of news, I mean, we got a little bit here and there, but outside of the big leak kind of wave, it's been more or less quiet. So, it felt like the right time. Yeah, even Astro says here, he says, I'm excited about this. We need a rallying point for Matrix fan fic art creatives. No, man, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is something that I wanted to embrace coming into creating the channel, but to be 2 years in and be able to put something together, it's really, really it's a very exciting time, to quote Tank. Yeah, I didn't think that I'd be in a position to put together something like this. So yeah, I'm gonna keep editing away. I mean, this thing has basically become my life for right now. But I do think it's worth it. I do think once it's done, being able to share it with you guys, and just for it to be a part of, like you said, that fan creative space. The goal here is to raise the bar, man. I think it's got the potential to do that, and hopefully it will inspire more of that from other Matrix fans and other creatives. And yeah, I really I'm looking forward to making way for that space and growing that space, because if we don't do it, I'm I'm afraid to see the next wave of Matrix fan fiction stuff, because there's going to be more. This is what I'm telling you. I'm telling you this right now, before the movie comes out, that after the movie comes out, there's definitely going to be a boom of Matrix fan films on YouTube. That's going to happen.
Yeah, because YouTube was not around when the sequels came out.
Mm-hmm. So it was like just right before, dude.
Yeah, it was like message boards, and I think there's like fanfic.com or .org, and there's a lot of Matrix stuff on there. But even in the Matrix Online community, we had a lot, and we had the benefit of being able to act out events and play through a story with other people and improvise. But there's actually quite a lot of fan fiction out there, and I actually did 3 story contests during my time in the Matrix Online, and one was actually a little after the game shut down. But there's a couple of stories that like really out. There was one that was like a 30 pager, and then they were all different lengths. But I think the best story that I had read was maybe about 1 or 2 pages, and it was just really, really good. And yeah, that writer was always on top.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that I miss, from Matrix Online community. Just that whole, I mean, I guess the role play community, like, I was on Vector, so there wasn't a whole lot of that on Vector, but that imaginative space that, we definitely felt like we were part of the story continuing, you know?
Yeah, that was powerful because those movies were very, very hot back then. And
Yeah, no,
yeah,
shout out.
to give the fans like and it's something to invest in was like really cool. That's what drew me into that particular video game. It wasn't the game, and geez, I learning an MMO was difficult for me, but just it being Matrix themed was really really cool.
Yeah, and I was gonna say shout out to the Wachowskis and Paul Chadwick and Rarebit because they created that space. But I definitely felt that energy a lot working on this project. Like, just I guess grateful that they created a world for me to play in. Because that's a lot of it. Like, I wouldn't have done it if we didn't have that Matrix Online experience. Now what's interesting, since we're going there with this, this is kind of like the prequel to Project Ladybug, if you will. So there are references, but this doesn't have any specific Matrix Online references. But I felt a very heavy Matrix Online inspiration through all the connections, because that's one of the things that let me fall in love with this franchise, is how the different media installments are cross-connected with each other, how the video games connect to the movies and the comic books connect to the movies, and the animatrix connects to the comics, and just that kind of whole thing. So yeah, now like I said, prequel, but Project Ladybug, that's going to be a whole other separate conversation at this point. One thing at a time. Like I said, I got to live and breathe this one for now. But like I said, I'm in post, and fortunately, like I like to try to like tackle the hardest things first. So a lot of the really hard stuff I've gotten through. I mean, there's still plenty of work to do and plenty of challenges ahead, but I guess that's probably why I guess I feel a little bit more comfortable talking about it now, just because I can see the end and I'm really excited about it, and I can see other people's excitement that were involved. So that's a good sign. You don't want to like put all this energy into something and then like everybody who you show it to is like, oh, that's crap. What are you doing with your time? So yeah, I'm getting behind on the comments again. Yeah, okay. So Astro says we need dedicated Matrix Online spaces for fandom, and a YouTube presence with a link to a central site would be great. Yeah, no, I mean, one thing at a time, man. I mean, we're trying to definitely build this community up for sure. But that's a great idea. It's not one that I haven't thought about. And if you know anybody who's great at designing websites, by all means. But this is kind of what I was saying before. Like, I can't create a website, but I knew at the point in which we gave this thing the green light that I could do what would be needed, what was required to make a fan film. Again, this is like my writer directorial debut, right? So I know it's not going to be perfect, but I do think it's going to be entertaining. And like I said, there's definitely, having made Matrix videos for YouTube and just kind of been in the Matrix universe, living in it, for 2 years without taking any air. And I say that not like it's a bad thing. Like, I chose this. So, I've been having a great time with you guys this ride, connecting with other Matrix fans was part of the point. I was missing that with the Matrix Online being shut down. But yeah, all that energy's bottled up in this thing, man. And I wanted to take that momentum and do something that I could do to contribute to that. So yeah, not everybody's a filmmaker, right? But like, perfect example. I mean, the content you put out consistently, like, it's like, I don't even know how you do it. Like, I'm like, yo, this guy is on point every day, and I think that's what it's going to take. It's going to take us being committed to this fandom to kind of push it over the edge. But the first guy through the wall gets bloody, man. You know, Trekkies Trekkies in the 80s were like, they were Revenge of the Nerds picked on, and you could say the same thing for, Star Wars fans back in the day. I mean, even, how much do clothes cost in the Matrix? Like, it's not
4800 info. Yeah, I tell you, I've been picking up with all the excitement, even just the energy on the trailer not being released. I've just thrown out just a bunch of stuff, just uploading things. I originally wanted to do like just one thing daily, and over the past week it's been 2-3 posts daily on Instagram, and actually a lot more on Twitter lately, and Reddit. Jeez, it's like it's consuming.
Yeah, you're definitely my point man when it comes to Reddit. But yeah, guys, if you're not already, make sure you're following at Vesuvius MXO, because like I said, he's so consistent with it, and between the two of us, you won't miss out.
Yeah, I posted a doozy earlier today. Can I throw out a not very spoily spoiler?
What's this a spoiler for?
The Matrix Online and possibly the Matrix 4.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. By now, if the spoiler
Yeah.
alert should be known for this channel, so yeah, there are potential spoilers. So you go ahead.
So early on in the Matrix Online, Morpheus was killed in action, and I didn't get to attend this, but there was an event where he was laid out on an altar. So I got some screenshots from a guy named Technic, and I can't remember what server he was on, but his screenshots are like really, really good. And eventually, Morpheus's residual self-image corpse dissolves into flies. It's kind of reminiscent of the dusting in Avengers: Infinity War, and that was like a big deal in the Matrix Online. So I think one of the reasons why I finally posted these screenshots was because I was going through all of the fight scenes in the trilogy, and I'm going to break them all down because the trilogy, the sequels get so much crap, and it's like I don't understand how people don't understand the meanings of the fights, particularly. And there was a fight where Neo and Morpheus were fighting Smith, and there's this recurring theme of anytime there's a trade in code, people acquire different powers. So when Neo jumped into Smith, they traded code. Smith got some of Neo's powers, and he used that in conjunction with the agents jumping bodies to like copy people. Well, there's a point where he tries to copy Morpheus, and I think that there's
Yes.
something that happened in there where Morpheus's residual self-image was able to, I don't know, live on. Because in the whole arc of the Matrix Online, Morpheus was dead for like 95% of it, but there was no talk of ever finding his ship or his body. But there was all this talk about Neo's body. So, and then there was speculation that he was on another ship and broadcasting. So there's something to that. Morpheus is 99.9% dead in the Matrix universe at that point. But here we are with Matrix 4, and if you paid attention to the leaks, maybe there's something to Smith trying to copy over Morpheus.
Yeah, no, I did. I forgot that happened. That he stopped in time, but yeah, no, there was that that black code moment, right? And then also, when you bring up the whole exchange of code and everything, my mind starts to go in different directions because you remember the Morpheus sim, towards the end, they kind of had it go off the rails a bit, right? Like he wasn't completely the way the general had programmed him. He kind of started doing his own thing.
Yeah, so he was created by the general from memories and, like, I guess, cache memory from Morpheus. But he wasn't like a fully developed program like the Merovingian. He was pieced together. So his behavior was unpredictable, and he wasn't like, all right, well, this is just Morpheus. He just put Morpheus back. No, he actually worked. He didn't follow Morpheus's ideals as if Morpheus was, a person.
Yeah, no, I just like, around that time, like I found it kind of cool, or at least I'm hoping that the Matrix Resurrections takes that Morpheus sim route. First of all, because then my theory will have been right this whole time. But also because, in my own, I guess headcanon or fan fiction of the Matrix Online, I have that video where I visit the Morpheus. Well, in my video, it's supposed to be like traveling back in time to visit Morpheus. But the idea is that, because like you said, there's the cache element, or, some people like to call it a save point. But the idea being that the Matrix universe was definitely open to the idea of Morpheus being able to return within the Matrix. You just got to fill in the blank of, how he got there. But there was always the space for that avenue in terms of bringing the character back. So, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't, like I said, between the description of the trailer and the description of the test screenings, I haven't seen anything to debunk that. I really feel like everything I've heard just kind of like almost confirms it for me. It's like, well, if you didn't play the Matrix Online, you wouldn't describe it properly. If you didn't have that, I guess, background or have seen it played out before, how would you explain it to someone else who's never seen it play out before? And I think that's a lot of the confusion that we're hearing. But yeah, I haven't seen anything that says, oh no, this is not that, or it's, the brother of Morpheus or the son of Morpheus. I haven't seen anything that validates any of those lines of thinking.
Morpheus's brother.
I read that somewhere. What or what they say?
Dorpheus.
Orpheus.
That was from The Office cold opening.
Right. No, I was talking about the Hannibal. What's that? Eric Andre. Morpheus drinking a 40 in a death basket. Okay, so hold on. We got some Reddit intel in the chat here. It says a Reddit user claims today he knows someone, quote, close to the Matrix project, end quote, that is almost certain of a 9/9 trailer release. So 9/9 is like, well, it's after midnight. So 9/9 would be Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
What happens 9/9? Is that Dune or
He's saying
Malignant?
that's he's saying Reddit is claiming that that's a trailer release date. Oh, you're saying what is that associated with?
Yeah.
Where would they be showing it? Or would see, my thing is this. The CinemaCon thing, I thought had legs because it was not a public event, right? But when you're talking about releasing it to the public, I wouldn't put it past them to just do it on, whatever platform they control. Like, not necessarily have it in front of a movie or you know what I mean, like tied to something else. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they just put it out, especially if they're still selling us this HBO Max release.
Yeah, I don't understand why they don't just put it out on their social media.
That's what I'm
And
saying. Like, I could totally
YouTube.
see them just randomly out of nowhere. It's on social media. Here's the link to sign up to HBO Max. Like, boom.
Yeah, because you want to get it where people's fingers are close to their screen, and that's YouTube.
And Twitter, because Twitter you can just well, YouTube is good for it too, but Twitter's even, I still think Twitter is the best at just one click away to the link. You know what I mean? Like, Instagram,
Yes.
no.
No. Let's fix this shit.
Okay, so we got a couple comments about that date. So it says the Matrix is full of numerology and symbolism, but the trailer releases are more marketing and business driven. So I guess that's in reference to the 9/9. And then DE says PlayStation event is Thursday. Any game tie-in, MMO reboot? Nah, I don't know. We haven't heard any official game announcements. We've got some leads through the Clayton Watson interview. If you want to check that out, it's on the channel here. But again, that's all just us trying to read the tea leaves. Clayton didn't say for sure that there was going to be a new video game, based on the Matrix 4 or anything like that. He just spoke in a way about an experience talking about a future video game. So who knows how long ago, that could have been years ago, that conversation. So I don't know, but it did make us believe that there is a higher possibility that a video game would come too. Again, I think a lot of what we're going to see after the Matrix 4 in terms of Matrix Universe or Matrix Media is going to be dependent on how well the film does, which is why I keep feeling like the date's going to get pushed back. Just because of the revenue math. But we'll see. I mean, we all want a video game. I've said the whole time that I think a console is the most likely. So when you say MMO reboot, it seems like a stretch just because of how things turned out the first time around. Of course, Vesuvius and I had a great time, but from a business perspective, we understand the flaws of the previous model. Now everything's pay to play. So I don't think that it would necessarily fail. If they tried the MMO route again, under the new models, it should do well. And considering them learning from their previous mistakes, if not, I doubt they would dump as much resources into the live events and so on and so forth. But other games have live events now. You know what I mean? Like, they were just too soon with it. They were just early. They were ahead of the time. Yeah. So with that said, I don't. Right, because he said something about Oh, I thought this was a VR video game reference. There, you guys are having a whole chat conversation that I missed. Right. So the point being that I personally don't think we're going to hear anything about a video game, if there's going to be a video game, until after the movie comes out. Now, somewhere in the summer, we did a live stream because Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss were seen in Berlin wearing CGI marker gear. We don't know if that was for visual effects related to the Matrix Resurrections movie, but it is possible that that could have been related to a video game. I speculated that it might be related to a video game just because of the timing of everything. But again, we don't know. There's no official announcement or statement saying that the video game is going to return in any form. But I think it's likely. I'll put it that way. I'd say 60%, over half.
But that's pretty good odds considering we haven't had one of these games in a long time. Path of Neo was the last one to release. And they might want to test it because there's quite a few people asking for a remaster of Enter the Matrix and Path of Neo. So that might be the inexpensive way to test that market.
Yeah, man. So my whole thing is, when you're talking about this whole video game scene, like gaming itself is so different. You know what I mean? Like the whole world is just completely different than 2005. So it would be crazy to me for Warner Brothers to not tap into, the whole gaming universe for Matrix. Like it would just be such a waste of intellectual property. Now, from a numbers perspective, I get it. Matrix Online, there was 300 people online when they shut us down.
Something like that.
That's 2009. But like I said, the model is different. The only thing I don't want, I'm gonna knock on wood as I say this, the only thing I don't want is a Matrix mobile game. Like, please don't do that to us. Please don't just have some pay to play mobile game. That would break my heart. But another PC online console.
Yeah, I don't have any of the next generation consoles besides a Switch. So I'll go and get another console.
Yeah, I'll buy a clunky console for a Matrix game. Yeah, for sure. Now that's what I'm going to say, because I almost said VR, but then I held my tongue because I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I can drop that kind of money for hardware to play VR comfortably. But I would hope they know better than to go that route, because we're already in a niche. So if you go sci-fi niche and try to cross over into the most expensive gamer hardware niche, that's not a good match. Now, this is an original idea I heard they should make, or rather here in the chat, it says they should make Animatrix Online War Machine just like Battlefield when plays as United Nations and Zero for online. That'd be kind of cool. Like to have like the Man Machine War as an online game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
cool.
Said like that Battlefield kind of vibe. Like that could be pretty dope. Now, oh yeah, there's all kinds of ways you can go with that. You can go like the first person shooter route with that. You can go the Command and Conquer kind of route with, like strategy. Like you can definitely, yeah, that'd be nuts. Says the plot ties into the video game, so it seems strange that they wouldn't do anything game related. Yeah, and honestly, that's why I feel like even though they might not directly shout out the Matrix Online, I really feel like because they sold it to us as the continuation, I definitely think there's going to be, at the very least, inspiration from one or two Matrix Online storylines that we can point to in the Matrix 4, Matrix Resurrections, whatever you prefer to call it at this point. But yeah, all this is really exciting, man. I really like. Don't get me wrong. I want to break down the trailer as much as the next Matrix fan, if not a little more. But I'm not surprised that we don't have it yet. I've been trying to just not have any real expectation for that. I mean, for anybody who's been coming to these regularly, you know that I'm just more or less waiting for them to change the date again. So yeah, them not being in a rush to share the trailer would only support that idea. But I hope you guys are right. I hope this 9/9 this week date works out. That would be cool. The 9/22, actually, right? Because I looked at the calendar. Let's see what day of the week that is. Right, the 22 is a Wednesday. So I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but it'd be more convenient if it was on the 22nd, because then we could do a live stream like immediately. But I think I have to work Thursday, so that's annoying.
Well, anything else?
No, is there anything you're working on? Anything you want to plug before we wrap this session up?
Keep an eye on my Instagram at VesuviusMXO. I'll have some stuff on my YouTube soon. I edit like a snail on YouTube for my video editing, but I got a couple things in the works. The fight breakdown videos, the fan story, the kid next door audiobook, short story will be coming soon.
Very, very cool. And yeah, guys, also make sure that you like the stream on the way out if you haven't liked it already. Vesuvius came up with the 4K milestone mark, so don't forget to share this with other Matrix fans that you know. We're going to try to signal boost the channel and hit 4,000 subscribers. It's crazy to even say that right now, but yeah, we will share the title reveal of the fan film. So yeah, we hit that 4K and then we will leak that in a live. So we came up with that tonight, and I am looking forward to the next session with all of you. But tonight, class is dismissed. So thank you for coming out as always. Appreciate you all.